fell off, bro. I fell off for 5 days total. 5 days total this year I fell off, and it was last week. Eating horrible. It's where I went from 270 pounds down to 168 pounds. Now I'm trying to get to 10% body fat. And for years, I ain't gonna lie, I felt like I was falling behind until I realized that I was actually just tracking the wrong things in my life. I was tracking the wrong metrics. The moment I changed what I measured, everything changed. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna get into it. Listen up. The other day, I caught myself scrolling on Instagram, and my For You page is super curated. So I'm seeing like bros with, I really want an LC 500. So bros with like fire LC 500, fire clothes, you know, dude sold his business way younger than me. And I felt like I was, like for a moment, I felt like I was behind in life until I caught myself and like asked myself, like behind compared to what? What am I behind compared to? And if you're anything like me, I think a lot of us, like, we feel like we're behind in life. And my bro just made a video about this, but we feel like we're behind in life, and that's something that a lot of like ambitious guys like us, that's something that we deal with. And not because we're like actually behind, it's because we're measuring ourselves against people that are playing a completely different game than we are, okay? Your life is your own game. Understand that. You open Instagram, oh, somebody's making 100 grand a month. Someone's traveling the world. Someone's dating a baddie, married a baddie, put a kid in a baddie. Oh, someone's chiseled, they got 6-pack abs. And then suddenly, everything that you've actually done this week feels invisible and it feels null and void. Come on, bro. I used to do this constantly. Like, I would compare my chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 20. I had to stop doing that. And then I would wonder like, oh, why I couldn't keep up. Wrong comparisons, wrong metric, bro. And it made me feel like I was like always late, always behind, like always trying to catch up. And that's not a good space to be in. Then I realized something that completely changed how I measured my progress. The problem wasn't my pace. It was the scoreboard. You know what I'm saying? It was a scoreboard. Okay, here's what I think, this is my hypothesis. Here's what I think is actually happening, okay? Most guys, and what I used to do, you measure outcomes on things that you can't like directly control. So the shorty you with, how much money you got, the whip you driving, like what type of house you have, other people's opinions. But those are actually lagging indicators, okay? They're the results, those things are the results of hundreds of decisions that you haven't seen. Hundreds of decisions that were made in the background. And when you compare your daily actions to someone else's finished product, you're gonna always feel behind. So here's the pivot that I made. I stopped asking myself like, oh, am I at to where they are? Am I close to being at where they are? And I switched it to, have I done the consistent things I've had to do for a month straight? Am I further than I was last month? Beautiful, beautiful question. And that was a question that I can actually answer. You can't answer, am I close to where they are? Because you never know when it hits. But one thing that you can control and influence the outcome of is, am I better than I was last month? Am I better than I was yesterday? So here's the framework. Here's what I'm measuring now. First, did I keep the promises that I made to myself today? Did I keep them? Second, did I move one step closer to the guy that I'm trying to become? And that should be your marker. Do you even have that written down, bro? The guy that you're trying to become, or are you just winging it? Third, if I repeated the tasks that I did today, if I repeated my day today over for 1 year, would I be happy with those results? Your life changes and mine change when I stop measuring like status, okay? And when I actually start measuring the trajectory that I'm on personally, bro. Your life is your own video game. So stop looking at others' video game because you don't know you don't know people's stories, bro. You really don't know where people have. Someone may be 10 years ahead of where you are today, bro. But that doesn't tell you anything about where you'll be 5 years from now. Nothing. The only comparison that actually matters and the only metric that actually matters is the direction that you're going improving, okay? Yours, direction, that's what compounds. That's what gives you that slight edge, okay? The direction you're moving compounds. You're either going forward or backward though, so it can work against you. Comparison, that does nothing for you whatsoever, okay? Unless you're comparing your daily actions to someone's daily actions. That's what you can compare. Are you doing what they're doing daily to get to where they've been? And that's how I'm approaching this season of my life, especially when it comes to getting lean, building OutHere Elite. I could compare myself to all of these guys, you know, that are super shredded, but I don't. I compare myself to my own story. And am I doing the daily things that I need to do every day? I'm gonna tell you something, like, I fell off, bro. I fell off for 5 days total. 5 days total this year, I fell off, and it was last week. Eating horrible, and I don't know what happened. I honestly don't know what happened, but I'm back on track. And old me, I ain't gonna lie, old me would have like hopped on Instagram, TikTok, seen, you know, guys that are shredded are still on their purpose, and I would have been through. Like, I would have made excuse, oh, I'm gonna start back on the 15th. Oh, I'm gonna start back next month. I'm gonna start back when I get to Mexico. Like, no, that old me is extremely gone because I've stacked the marbles as the guy that's super consistent. So that guy that's inconsistent is not there anymore. I've won so many days where I can lose a few and still be forced to be the guy that's extremely consistent. And that's where you want to be, brother. That's where you want to be. My standard now is consistency. That's my default. It takes work for me to not be consistent. And I don't beat myself up when I'm like not consistent. That's something else that, you know, has changed about myself. Because my standard is someone that's consistent, I don't beat myself up when I haven't been beating myself up because I drop my standard. Because my standard is consistency. I don't know if that makes sense. What's an example of that? Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. I might cut that part, but if you know, you know. Some know this, some know this. But yeah, I'm approaching this like, is my direction going forward? Like when it comes to me getting lean, when I'm building OutHere Elite, learning about business. None of those things happen overnight. None of them are overnight things. Unless I put money into some ads, but none of them are overnight. But every day, I ain't gonna lie, I keep showing up every day, even when I don't feel like it. No cap. And that gap between who I was and who I'm becoming is like getting smaller and smaller. Okay, I'm really becoming 2.0 web. It's fire to see. And like, when I step back and actually look and to like smell the flowers, it's cool to see my character change, you know? And that's the only metric that I'm choosing to care about. That's the only thing. Tomorrow, I want to talk about another mindset shift that keeps a lot of ambitious guys like us stuck and how to fix it. It's gonna be a fire video tomorrow. If you're tired of measuring yourself against, you know, everyone else and you want to build your own standard, that's something that we're doing inside OutHere Elite. Just join using the link below. It's free. I got you. It's web. See you guys tomorrow.